Okay, y'all, so a mountain of DC news dropped on Wednesday. I was like, let me take my time and go through all of this stuff. I mean, we talked about Wonder Woman 3, we talking about Man of Steel 2, we talking about Black Adam 2, whatever's going on with that, Jason Momoa, Lobo, all this stuff. So we're gonna sit down with this Deadline article and talk about it. Let's go. So I don't know who was the first one to really report all this stuff, but as soon as the first one did, everybody else started going crazy because the news is absolutely wild. DC disruption has town jittery. What's next for Man of Steel and other sequels after Wonder Woman 3 Jolt? So I'm gonna skip around this stuff. Y'all already know how we do it over here. Wednesday's DC chaos about the unplugging of Patty Jenkins' version of Wonder Woman 3, coupled with rampant rumors of the studio's new co-heads James Gunn and Peter Safran turning the comic book label upside down, sans a Henry Cavill Man of Steel 2 and possible recasting of many current big superhero roles has left the town with a bad case of PTSD. Goddamn, that was a big ass sentence. I'm skipping around. This is creating a riot, says one content maker connected to DC Fair about the level of silence they've received on the fate of their DC projects going forward. And it's a horrible optic. This business is based on relationships. I guess this person is the content creator is just like, we should know about all this stuff, or we should be knowing about some of the things that are happening behind the scenes, whatever. And like, I get it, but at the same time, I feel like DC don't even know what they want to do or which direction they want to go. So how are they going to be able to tell y'all anything, when they are still deciding, right? And you will definitely see what I'm saying when we look behind the scenes as to what's happening when it comes to Man of Steel and Wonder Woman and all that stuff as we read on. Moving forward, the article is just saying that we have these big ass characters. So let me see. The Deadline source says these franchises, which already make a lot of money, why stop them? How can a studio that's bearing so much debt afford to start from scratch? There are scripts and actors' schedules to be figured out. And for me personally, I'm just like, okay, just because something is making some money right now, it doesn't mean that I don't know. I'm just like, if you start from scratch and it's better than what we're getting right now, then by all means start from scratch, right? So those three actors and Black Adam's Dwayne Johnson are repped by WME, and a complete turnover of DC stars by Warner's would put them in check to a big agency, and no one wants to go to war like CAA/Disney did with Johansson. Like, they don't want to deal. Obviously they're looking for the best and most cost efficient way to add some type of freshness to DC. And I mean, I'm gonna read to you what's been going on. And James Gunn commented about this kind of transitionary period on Twitter, saying that there would be an unavoidable transitional period as we moved into telling a cohesive story across film, TV, animation, and gaming. So what's going on with Wonder Woman 3? According to those in the know, it was Patty Jenkins who walked away after receiving notes on the treatment she submitted to the studio. Apparently, her threequel pitch had character arc problems that rivaled those of Wonder Woman 1984. Wow. And they were just saying that 1984 got 58% on Rotten Tomatoes and blah, 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 blah. So it was just like, if your problems are with your characters are as bad as they were in 1984, it's like, DC was just like, girl, I don't know what y'all want me. I don't know what you want me to do with this. So one rival studio executive observed the potential problem in the current DC setup of having a filmmaker like Gunn providing notes to an established filmmaker like Jenkins. But the big wigs over there at Warner Brothers, Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, also had concerns about Patty's treatment before Gunn and Safran were even weighing in on the situation. So what happened next is the group provided notes. Jenkins apparently fought back and defended her vision that the threequels character arcs were solid. Jenkins was given the opportunity for another pass but opted to walk. Now, I just listen, James Gunn, whatever you feel about his stuff, it's just like, okay, we could give it a 50, we could give it a hit or miss, whatever. and Safran. So you had these two people on top of the big wigs at Warner Brothers saying, these character arcs ain't given. It's not given. It's not given. And then on top of that, you had 1984. I mean, that plot to me was it was just bad. I'm sorry. I don't know how else to say it. I did not like that shit. Especially comparing it to the first Wonder Woman. Like, if you start off strong, with that Wonder Woman, and then you gave us 1984, it's just like, you're already on shaky ground. And then all these, the whole entire group from Safran to DeLuca, everybody saying, this character arc is not given, and it reminds us of 1984. It's like, what y'all want me to do? What y'all want me to say? Like, and the fact that they said, hey, just try again, do it again, write it again, come at us with something else. And then Patty Jenkins was like, girl, I'm not doing that shit. It's just like, I don't know. Just given what we saw already in 1984, I'm tending to side on the Warner Brothers chiefs, Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi, and also Safran and Gunn. Like, I'm sorry. Like, if you did, it would be one thing if Wonder Woman 1984 was as strong as the first Wonder Woman, and then they were having these fights and stuff. I would probably be on Jenkins' side, like, nah. But 1984 was not good, babes. It was not good. It was not good. So, that's what we're seeing happening. Now, the article goes on to say the hope for another Wonder Woman film exists. The question is whether Gal wants to make it without Jenkins, and judging from the actress's tweet 2 days before the news dropped, it sounds like she wants to stay aboard. This is what she said a few years ago. It was announced that I was going to play Wonder Woman. I've been so grateful for the opportunity to play such an incredible, iconic character. And more than anything, I'm grateful to you, the fans. Can't wait to share her next chapter with you. And then we could put a pin in that and move on to Man of Steel 2. Before Gunn and Safran even arrived, it was DeLuca and Abdi's decision with Johnson, sources tell us, to put Cavill's Superman at the end of Black Adam to give the Dark movie an uplifting, exciting cliffhanger. No regrets there. Cavill is managed by Danny Garcia, who also reps Johnson. There had been some championing for some time by Cavill's team for the actor to return as Man of Steel, a role he took, blah, 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 blah. We know that Cavill, we hear, took it upon himself. Now, this is where it gets a little muddy, okay? Because Henry Cavill, we hear, took it upon himself to announce his return as the Man of Steel on Instagram on October 24th, the day before Safran and Gunn were named as heads of DC. DeLuca and Abdi, before the duo's arrival, heard a pitch from Man of Steel producer Charles Roven and a writer. They didn't like it and wanted to wait for Safran and Gunn's plan to come into place. Hence, Man of Steel 2 never was greenlighted, didn't have a director, nor was it packaged. So Man of Steel 2 remains an open slot until the studio hears a better pitch. Over Thanksgiving holiday stretch, Johnson revealed in a video post that he fought hard with Warner's to bring Cavill back. Johnson said Warner's inexplicably and inexcusably did not want to bring back Cavill, but he was not going to take no for an answer, and his team got to work. So of course, The Rock here is saying this has been years in the making regarding bringing Henry Cavill back, and years of strategic conversations, and we are not going to take no for an answer. There's no viable, logical way that you can attempt to build out the DC universe without the most powerful force and the greatest superhero of all time sitting on the sidelines. It's impossible to do. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that Johnson and Cavill and their management company together might have been jumping ahead of the DC executives with this, or at least, they were just swinging they stick around, especially it's Dwayne Johnson, it's Henry Cavill, and it's their management company, right? Because the Hollywood Reporter said this: Johnson hoped to carve out his own piece of the DC pie, but multiple sources say his playing up of a returning Cavill and his own involvement with DC may not be endearing him to the new management. Johnson and Cavill are both managed by Danny Garcia, who is also Johnson's producing partner. The perception of Adam turning a profit or not is a conflagration now being waged in public with Johnson tweeting the movie would net over $50 million after a Variety story said the movie would lose over $50 million theatrically. So what it seems like to me from reading all this stuff, what it seems like has happened or is happening, right, is that Dwayne Johnson just needs to, first, he just needs to be Dwayne Johnson. He just needs to stand in front of the camera, lift something heavy, and that's it. Like, that's all he need to be doing. In my opinion, he going with creative and all this shit. So I think, he wanted this Superman versus Black Adam shit so bad that, he's using, Henry Cavill and Dwayne and their management company came together trying to make this shit happen. And it's like, yes, okay, y'all made this shit happen, but DC still don't know what the fuck they want to do with Superman in the fucking first place, which is why you were probably fighting so hard to get Superman in this shit in the first place, because they did not know where they don't know where they was going with this shit. And I think they was pressing them, they was making announcements. They said Henry Cavill made the announcement before Gunn and Safran were hired on. So like, I think they were pushing for this shit, and DC was like, okay, goddamn it, fine. But DC still don't know where the fuck they want Superman to be at. They don't know what story they want to tell. So they probably were fighting against Dwayne putting Superman in this shit because they don't know where they want to go with Superman yet. So now we got all these premature things happening, and now it's just, I don't know. Tell me what y'all think about that. And then we can skip down to Black Adam 2. It's been radio silence from Warner Brothers to the Pix team about whether there is a sequel to the Johnson-led film. However, Warner Brass and Johnson are elated that the Pix stands to make a profit north of $50 million despite false media reports. Warner's would be keen to keep an asset like Johnson with 500 million social media followers in the fold, the people's champion having made several hit movies, blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. This to me is just, because he came out here, The Rock came out here and tweeted this, waited to confirm with financiers before I shared this excellent Black Adam news. Our film would profit between $52 million and $72 million. This is what the article said that he posted, just the beginning of it. There's some snarking going around or going on out there that Black Adam is poised to lose $50 million to $100 million, and that's simply not true. Deadline film finance sources, meaning people who do this for a living and those close to the film, say this movie is bound to break even and be in the black. Scroll down to see how they say with a global gross of $390 million, a $195 million production cost, and a promotion and advertising spend between $80 and $100 million. The Dwayne Johnson DC / New Line film is looking to net between $52 million and $72 million. Also not included in that amount is an extra source of cash from Black Adam merchandise. I'm just like, okay, girl. Okay, girl. To me, what it looks like happened is that people rightfully are noticing and pointing out that Black Adam ain't gonna make a whole lot of fucking money. It's just not going to. There was one report saying that it needed like $600 million to even break even. I don't know. Obviously, given this new news that Dwayne Johnson just tweeted out, obviously it may not be that crazy. Like the margin may not be that crazy. But I mean, overall, I think we all can notice like Black Adam is not gonna make a whole lot of fucking money. Like, let's be real. And they over here talking about, Dwayne over here posting like articles saying, well, did y'all count the merchandising? It's not a good look. It's just not. Right? So what I'm getting overall from the news is that Patty Jenkins' treatment of Wonder Woman 3 was giving us Wonder Woman 1984. It had some of the same issues that 1984 had. The studio and DC and the executives told her that shit, and she got pissed. And she got mad. She tried to defend it, and they were like, girl, you could do it again, you could try again, and she just walked instead. And like I said, given what we saw in 1984, and given the problems that we had with it, and the fact that these executives are saying that this Wonder Woman 3 treatment had the same kind of problems, I'm guessing that's what the fuck happened. They don't like the treatment that they were getting from Man of Steel 2. And meanwhile, you had Dwayne Johnson and Henry Cavill, everybody rushing for fucking Superman to get back, and these girls did not have no treatment for that shit. And because Black Adam flopped, like how no shade, like come on now, it just did not exceed, it didn't break any financial records. Like Black Adam did what we expected Black Adam to do, girl. Like she barely made it financially, if she did. So we got all of that going on. They not about to go make another fucking Black Adam 2 if they don't think that it's gonna make no goddamn money, no matter how much Dwayne is gonna be out here tweeting, right? So I think all of that is going on. They over here talking about trying to recast. There's just rumors of Jason Momoa being recast as like Lobo or something. I think Jason will be an amazing Lobo, but like the crossfire between him being Aquaman and it's just, I don't know. I think that they do have to just wipe the slate clean. I don't know if this is the best way to do it. But I think going forward in the way that DC has been going forward, it's just not going to be conducive to no type of nothing. So no matter what you have to do, start this shit up. I don't care if y'all have to distract us with a live action Young Justice or some shit. I don't care what y'all have to do. The slate has to be wiped clean because it's just a mess. From the Flash to everything, it's just a mess. The slate has to be wiped clean. If this is how y'all do it, I would rather hear news about, okay, we revamping shit, we trying different things, we firing people, we're trying different treatments. I would much rather hear that y'all are doing that and moving stuff around than hear like, oh, we're just gonna do the same shit the same way and do it all over again. You know what I mean? If all them executives say, nah, bitch, Wonder Woman 1984 had issues and problems and shit, and we ain't gonna repeat that shit for the third one, I'm just like, I can't be mad about it, because if y'all feed me bullshit for the third movie, that's a wrap. It's a wrap. So I don't know. I think it's a very tumultuous time at DC. I think a lot of things are happening. I think some of them need to. Like I said, I don't know if this is the most efficient way to do it, but I do want I want something different. And as unhappy as we are about some of these movies taking their time and being canceled, like if y'all don't have good treatments for it, if y'all, you know what I mean, keep it. This is what James Gunn said on his Twitter about the news and stuff. So he says, so as for the story yesterday in the Hollywood Reporter, some of it is true, some of it is half true, some of it is not true, and some of it we haven't decided yet whether it's true or not. Although this first month at DC has been fruitful, building the next 10 years of story takes time, and we're still just beginning. Peter and I chose to helm DC Studios knowing we were coming into a fractious environment, both in the stories being told and in the audience itself, and there would be an unavoidable transitional period as we moved into telling a cohesive story across film, TV, animation, and gaming. But in the end, the drawbacks of that transitional period were dwarfed by the creative possibilities and the opportunity to build upon what has worked in DC so far and to help rectify what has not. We know we are not going to make every single person happy every step of the way, but we can promise everything we do is done in the service of the story and in the service of the DC characters we know you cherish and have cherished our whole lives. As for more answers about the future of the DCU, I will sadly have to ask you to wait. We are giving these characters and the stories the time and attention they deserve, and we ourselves still have a lot more questions to ask and answer. So yeah, I get it. Like if you're coming in, you're helming a new you're in charge of DC Studios now. Like you want to make sure that the movies that you put out under your shit, under your name, is like really moving the story, moving DC in the direction that you want it to. So yeah, I would much rather have you tell Patty Jenkins to go back and try and write something else than for us to have a repeat of 1984. Period. Like, I'm sorry, but I really hope that we use this time. I don't know how y'all have to distract us. Like I say, if y'all got to bring us a live action of Young Justice, I don't care. But something to distract us, to give y'all time to revamp these OG characters, Superman, Wonder Woman, whatever y'all have to do. I don't care if y'all have to wipe the whole entire slate clean, because the slate is dirty anyway. I don't like what's on the slate. I don't like what's on the plate. So clean it up. But yeah, that's it, y'all. Tell me what you thought about this news, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.